Apple Fest. The other fun activities surrounding the big festival.
Cheap Thrills, a look inside some of the best and affordable hauntings in Pittsburgh. Point News starts now.
Live from the Point Park University Broadcast Center in downtown Pittsburgh, this is Point News.
Good afternoon, I'm Josh Krupp.
And I'm Bill Steinbach. And the top story this afternoon is definitely the weather. Last week at this time it felt closer to summer, but now the fall weather is settling in. Point News' Francesca Franzelio is here with a first look at your forecast.
Thanks, Bill. So we've been having some summer weather, but it looks like it's a turn of events recently. We've got Friday that looks a little bit warmer. Saturday and Sunday is going to be cooling down into the low 50s. I'll have a more extensive, detailed information all about it later on in today's show.
Thanks, friend. Let's turn to major developments now in the murder of a local college student.
We now know the suspect, Matthew Darby, will be brought back to Pittsburgh next week. Darby is charged with the murder of a Pitt student, Alina Shayquette, at her off-campus apartment earlier this month. Police found Darby in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, a few days later. Earlier this week, he pleaded guilty to charges related to that arrest, which include loitering and filing false information. But here in Pittsburgh, he's wanted on charges of criminal homicide and other offenses related to Shayquette's death. He's also wanted on rape charges out of Elizabeth and has a pending rape case in Indiana County. Darby was Shayquette's ex-boyfriend. She even had a PFA against him at the time of her death. Darby is set to be brought back to Pittsburgh next Friday, November 3rd.
More than 3 years after 20 students and a security guard were stabbed at Franklin Regional High School, the suspect has entered a guilty plea. 20-year-old Alex Ribel was charged in the April 2014 attack at the school that left all of those victims with injuries. Ribel entered his guilty plea Tuesday. The Westmoreland County District Attorney said that he'd seek a sentence for 30 to 60 years for Ribel. Sentencing in the case has not yet been scheduled.
A Pittsburgh teacher attacked on the West End Bridge, and now we know bond has been revoked for one of the suspects. Deshonta Williams, the suspect, the judge making that ruling yesterday, calling Williams a danger to the community. Williams allegedly attacked Janice Watkins on the bridge last week, pulling her from her car, punching her, kicking her, and throwing a brick at her. This after she claims Watkins, a teacher at Pittsburgh's MLK school, had taken a cell phone away from her child. Williams' boyfriend, Vincent Beasley, is also charged in the case.
It's officially the end of the road for Congressman Tim Murphy. His last day in office was this past Saturday. Congressman Murphy opted to resign after it was revealed the pro-life lawmaker was involved in an extramarital affair and had reportedly suggested his mistress to have an abortion when he thought she might be pregnant. So now that Murphy has resigned, mark your calendars for this. Governor Tom Wolf has set March 13th, 2018 as the special date for the special election to fill Congressman Murphy's seat. Voters headed to the polls that day will be those in the 18th District, which is comprised of portions of Allegheny, Greene, Westmoreland, and Washington counties. Election day is
Thanks, Bill. Election day is just 12 days away, and folks in Allegheny County have even less time to get an absentee ballot. The County Elections Division says applications for an absentee ballot must be submitted by 5 p.m. this coming Tuesday, Halloween. And once you get your absentee ballot, it'll be due just a few days later by 5 p.m. on Friday, November 3rd. The Elections Division says you can request an absentee ballot at their office in the City County building or by going online to votespa.com.
The bids are in. Just last week, Pittsburgh officially submitted its bid to be home to Amazon's second headquarters. But our city has some definite competition. Amazon received 238 bids from cities across the country. Other Pennsylvania cities vying for Amazon are Philadelphia and Harrisburg, which has offered the online retailer a former insane asylum to set up shop. Here's some good news for Pittsburgh. Excuse me. Our city is apparently among Amazon's top choices for its second headquarters. The online retailer Giant's second home base could create thousands of jobs in whichever city is chosen to get the location. Moody Analytics has ranked Pittsburgh in the top 5 of likely cities where Amazon will build their second headquarters. Using Amazon's stated preferences, Moody ranks Pittsburgh is fifth behind Austin, Atlanta, Philadelphia, and Rochester. And the folks at Permanente Brothers say they won't let Pittsburgh go down without a fight. They announced on Twitter this week that they'll give free sandwiches to all Amazon employees should the second headquarters be built here in Pittsburgh.
Launching a career in journalism isn't easy, let alone an entire media outlet, but Dejan Kovacevic has proven it's possible. DK spoke to Point Park students last Tuesday about how his career as a columnist led him to starting his own online publication. His subscription site covering Pittsburgh sports has nearly 40,000 subscribers after 3 years. DK took questions from students in the standing room only audience and gave advice to writers pursuing journalism careers.
Because I feel like as you get on journalism, you have to be into journalism. That obviously takes on a lot of different forms anymore. It's not just about trying to get from smaller newspaper to the next level newspaper to the next level newspaper. That's the way it used to be. Now it's just a matter of going out and pretty much independently producing the best possible content that you can and making a name for yourself.
The event was presented by the Pittsburgh Center for Sports, Media, and Marketing. Point Park has really grown its forensic science program in recent years. The program recently marked Forensic Science Week, which included a mock crime scene in the lobby of one of Point Park's main buildings.
Point News reporter Casey Houlihan had the chance to open the case and investigate the scene.
For Forensic Science Week, the lobby of Academic Hall transformed into a crime scene. With the help of a mannequin and some creativity, the Forensic Science Club created a murder mystery. The students were presented with a board of information on the crime and 4 possible solutions. Once they think they've cracked the case, the students place their raffle tickets into the corresponding bin for a chance to win a prize.
So the Forensic Science Club basically is, we try to cater towards just majors, non-majors who are just interested in forensic science. So we try to come up with events that both people would appreciate and that are fun and that can get not only like our members and majors involved, but the whole school.
Forensic students typically work on cases like this in the Crime House, a classroom on the 5th floor of Academic Hall where crime scenes like this one are set up.
So we decided that this year we wanted to make it a little more interactive, a little more accessible, so people didn't have to go upstairs into the room and they could see it just walking by and participate.
The club has one more event before their case is officially closed. Reporting for Point News, I'm Casey Houlihan.
Later in the show, the saga of Juju's bicycle.
A Steelers ride stolen where it was finally tracked down.
But straight ahead, finding scares without going broke.
We're going to take you to some of Pittsburgh's best haunted attractions on a college student's budget.
What would you do to create something that could survive 1,000 years? You'd start with a formula, head to the lab, and forge it with fire. Just imagine everything it could do. It could leak pollutants into the soil and water, or it could conserve energy, cut CO2 emissions, and reduce raw material. Recycling is more than cutting waste. Recycling is about the legacy you want to leave. Why on earth would you want to do anything else? Recycle. Don't throw away our chance at survival.
Good evening and welcome to Newsnight. I'm Josh Krupp alongside Jess Paterchak. Tonight we begin with
The mayor is continuing to deal with the challenges the city is facing.
But tomorrow we have just a little bit of cloudiness. We have
off throughout the day with some strong wind gusts. That's going to continue tomorrow.
Teams have already started talking to free agents. Saturday is partly cloudy, but 70 degrees? Where is the pool at? I mean, come on.
You might have already burned your bracket, ripped it up.
I am Royce Jones.
And I'm Casey Houlihan.
Thank you so much for joining us this evening. That's your news tonight for today.
UView Television is live here at the Center for Media Innovation with a very exclusive interview with Point Park's Black Diamond, our school mascot. We're taking questions on our social media at UView Television.
Our first question came in from @PointParkU Black Diamond. They want to know, what is one thing you love about Point Park?
UView.
I knew it.
UView's the best.
It is. All right, Alex, you want to read our next question?
Okay, we have another question from Point Park Cab. They're asking, when is the next time you're going to make a surprise appearance at their next event?
He's being coy. Looks like we're going to have to show up.
Yeah, I guess we'll have to see.
All right, that's all we have for right now, but you can submit your own questions at UView Television, and we might read one of yours after the break.
Welcome back to Point News. It's that time of year. The leaves are changing, the temperatures are dropping.
The fall season brings out the ghouls and the ghosts. And Pittsburgh is the perfect place to find a haunting. Point News reporter Samir Nefsi has more.
For some, a trip through a haunted attraction is a date night or a time to hang out with friends. These attractions are most popular with college students. College students might think it's too expensive to get a good scare.
You have to get, bang for your buck. That's essentially what every college student looks for, especially something that's $20. If it was $5, it wouldn't be a big deal.
But we decided to look around to find the best attraction if you're on a budget. After searching, we found that Pittsburgh has two top haunted attractions in the United States, Scare House and Phantom Fright Nights, hosted by Kennywood. First on our stop, we stopped by Scare House. This hot spot is located in a building that dates over 100 years old. Buying a ticket, you buy admission to 3 different attractions: the Sunset Lodge, Nocturnia 3D, and Infernal.
The haunted house, we have the freedom to create our own content. We can be as crazy. We try some silly things, and it doesn't always work, but there's always that nice freedom of being able to try new things and do something fun and exciting.
And that's all for the affordable price of around $15 on their student nights, which take place on Thursday and Sunday nights. That's a hefty saving from the original price that can cost you upwards of $20. With an average walk time of 20 to 25 minutes, it feels like you're living your worst nightmare. Now switching from Scare House to Phantom Fright Nights at Kennywood. Kennywood is known as being one of the best and oldest American amusement parks. But at nighttime, it seems that the ghouls of Phantom Fright Night are in full swing.
Phantom Fright Nights is a whole new experience, completely different from what people are used to. In addition to the haunted houses, we've added for this year a new escape room called Raina's Trap.
And that's all for the affordable price of $16.99 on select student nights. So, my friends and I decided to see if we can make it out of Raina's Trap in 15 minutes. After you and a small group enter the escape room, you have 15 minutes to figure out, using the clues, how to escape. Unfortunately, my team did not make it out. It's time for you to attend these top attractions. Samir Nefsi reporting for Point News 4.
So with Halloween just 5 days away, we check to see if you still have time to get into either of these haunted attractions. Well, it turns out you do. The Scare House is open tonight through Sunday, and Kennywood's Phantom Fright Nights operates this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Also, don't forget Kennywood's family-friendly Happy Hauntings, which is open this Saturday and Sunday afternoon.
And on Halloween Day, scares will be celebrated here at Point Park. The first annual Monster Ball is being held at the Center for Media Innovation. Students can come in costume to enjoy treats, a scavenger hunt, and enjoy the Halloween spirit. The event is held from 2:30 to 4.
And before Point Park students head out to get their annual dose of scare, they took to Village Park to get their annual dose of apple cider and pumpkins. For the second year in a row, Point Park's food service provider, Culinart, held an Apple Fest in Village Park. Students had the chance to embrace the fall weather at the outdoor market where they could shop for fall favorites such as apple cider and fresh-baked pies, along with a large array of fresh vegetables.
So events like this, we really want to give back to you guys. We know you guys are going into like midterm times, and what better way to get you out and shopping rather than put it right in your backyard.
In addition to the market, students could participate in a pumpkin painting contest. The winning pumpkin earns the students a gift card and will be featured in the Point Cafe. You've seen packages delivered to your doorstep, but what about packages delivered to the inside of your home?
It's a new service being launched by Amazon and tested right here in Pittsburgh. Find out how it works ahead on Point News.
I shouldn't have to pay to walk down the street. Pay with my comfort, my freedom, my peace. Always on guard, on edge, off limits. Don't follow me. Don't touch me. Don't treat me like I'm yours. I don't need your whistles, your comments, your eyes. I already know I'm a prize. My confidence isn't for sale. Respect me. Don't inspect me.
And when people ask us who can join UView, the answer really is anybody, and we mean anybody. Any major, any experience level. Some people, have a lot of experience coming out of high school, and others don't know how to really sit on a couch properly, and that's okay. We're here just to give you the chance to learn and have fun and prepare yourself for the real world. College, after all, it's all about trying new things.
Welcome back to Point News. We told you earlier in the show about Pittsburgh's bid to house Amazon's second headquarters. No answer on that yet, but Pittsburgh will be one of a handful of cities to be the testing ground for a new Amazon service starting next month. It's called Amazon Key, and it allows certified Amazon delivery drivers to deliver purchases inside your home using smart lock technology that allows them to enter your house even when you're not there. The service will only be available to Amazon Prime members and will require users to purchase the smart lock device. The service is being unveiled right before the holiday delivery season when package thefts are on the rise. Speaking of the holidays, it's been feeling more like Thanksgiving out there than Halloween. Well, fall is definitely setting in.
Is there any chance for a warm-up, Bill? We bring in now Francesca Franzalio again. And Fran, what is your actual forecast here? Will we see the temperatures warm up?
So I think Friday is going to definitely be our last warm day. Unfortunately, it's going to be a high of 70 with the lows of mid-50s. About 51 degrees on Friday with about a 25% of precipitation, so we have no chances of rain, it looks like, and hopes. But Saturday and Sunday, it will drop. You will get your true fall weather. It's starting to become closer to November. I think the weather is going to start focusing on that true November weather. We have 57 as a high on Saturday, and the mid-50s again on Sunday with the low in about the low high 30s and high 40s, but it's probably going to rain on Saturday, so make sure you have your umbrella, your rain jackets, get some ready for some cold weather there, guys.
Thanks, Fran. And if there's one story Pittsburghers couldn't get away from this week, it was the mystery of Juju Smith's stolen bike.
Point News reporter Claire Costello has that and other headlines in your sports report. Claire?
It was the talk of Steeler Nation. What happened to wide receiver Juju Smith-Schuster's bicycle? He posted videos online early in the week showing that it had been stolen. And that was a major problem for Smith-Schuster, who doesn't have a driver's license and uses the bike to get around. Fellow Steeler Antonio Brown stepped in, offering tickets to a game to anyone who gets the bike back. And Permani Brothers even offered free sandwiches. On Wednesday, Mount Oliver police said they had recovered the bike from a man who said he had purchased it on the street. The man hasn't been publicly identified, and police say they haven't tracked down the person he said he bought it from. Smith-Schuster's bike was returned to him Wednesday afternoon. Speaking of Juju Smith-Schuster, many Steelers fans have been recently seen him being the target of Martavis Bryant's criticism on social media. Bryant's online antics have been raising a lot of eyebrows at Steelers headquarters, and now we've learned Bryant will not play in Sunday's game. Despite his action, Coach Mike Tomlin did say earlier this week he won't trade Bryant. The Steelers are set to take on the Detroit Lions Sunday, coming off of that big 29-14 win over the Bengals. And the Pittsburgh Penguins will take on the Jets tonight at 7. The team got a 2-1 win over the Edmonton Oilers on Tuesday night. The back-to-back Stanley Cup champs are currently first in the Metropolitan Division. Back to Bill and Josh.
Thanks, Claire. Let's hope the Pens can keep up that roll. That does it for this week's Point News. Be sure to join us next Thursday live at 2 p.m.
Have a great week, everybody.